Yeah, I got nothing but time today. Let's talk. It's 2023. If you are sitting around questioning whether or not you're making healthy boundaries, whether or not you even have the appropriate boundaries in place for yourself, or even asking yourself, what is a boundary at this point? Today's the day. We're going to talk about it. Let's get into it. So, to define what a boundary is, it is your own personal set of rules and restraints that you have within yourself. It is your way of keeping yourself in compliance with you. At the end of the day, nobody is in charge of your own personal happiness but you. You have to learn how to take control of that. You have to learn how to gauge and guide that. And it starts with setting healthy boundaries. So now you may be asking, Coach Nikki, how would I know if I need to set a boundary? What do I look for in this instance? I'm glad you asked. Let me give you some examples. So have you ever shared a space with someone and you feeling emotionally and mentally drained while sharing that space? You feel annoyed or resentful when you get around certain people. I got one better. Maybe you're in a relationship or a friendship right now and you questioning the value in that relationship or that friendship. Come on now. I know I'm speaking to somebody, because don't get on here and act like everything in life is perfect. Everything been grand. At some point, we've all been here. Some of us have been here a lot more than others. Some other things that I noticed. Do you consider yourself to be a yes person? You feel like you can never tell nobody no. You always got to show up to this event or function because you can't tell this person no. You always got to be the one to pick up the tab because you don't know how to say no. You always got to do something for somebody because you don't know how to say no. You struggle with that, right? What about, feeling burned out because you saying yes all the time, right? So you have that sense of feeling burned out. Yeah, baby, that's it. That's that sign that you need to set a boundary. A lot of people that need to set boundaries, they hate letting people down. That's a part of that, being a yes person and not being able to say no. You don't want to let other people down. You're worried about how other people will perceive you or what other people think. Sometimes about how other people feel. And in some instances, y'all, let's just be clear. It's not our responsibility to always worry about how other people feel. Oh, I know I'm striking a nerve. Yeah, I know we're supposed to have empathy and sympathy. I get it. I know. But it's not our responsibility all the time. You know what is our responsibility? Taking care of self, making self happy. And sometimes that doesn't include or involve anybody else. So you have to know that fine line. You have to be able to recognize that. And you have to be able to. So now that we know what the identifiers are for people who need to set boundaries, let's talk about how to actually execute it and create the boundaries, right? First things first, you need to sit down with yourself and identify your needs and identify your values. What are your morals? What did you grow up believing? Are those things that you still believe and want in your life? What do you need right now? Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially? What is it that you need? Set that tone first. Okay, so now at this point, you know what your needs are, right? You know what your values are. You've sat down with yourself. You've created this list. You've thought about it. Whatever you've had to do, you've done it, right? So now you're going to set the rules, right? You're going to set the deal breakers. This is what I have to have if I go in a relationship with you. This is a must in a friendship with you. This is obvious if I build this career or this working relationship with you. My finances have to look like this in order to get this. Like, you set the rules, right? Guess what? Those rules are your boundaries. Those are your deal breakers. Okay, so you have your boundaries in place, right? Yeah, you done made that list. You got the rules. Like, you know what's what at this point. So now, guess what you got to do? You got to stand in that. You got to stand on that. You got to own that. That is what you've created for self. That is what you're saying is going to make you better. That is now your requirement. So now that you know what those are, you share those with your circle. You give those to the people around you. And it's up to them whether or not they're going to accept it. And it's up to you whether or not you're going to continue that relationship. But guess what? The choice is yours. What you going to do with it? So for those who still need help setting boundaries, for those who are still unclear, call me. Let's talk. Y'all have a good one.